who's going to be. Oh, here we come.
Mauricio, good morning. How are you? How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. How's everything?
Everything is great. Obviously, we have so many questions, but we got 10 minutes, so we'll be as quick as possible. The new WBC rankings came out. Were they updated on the 18th of October?
I'm not sure, but this week, yes, I believe so.
So Deontay Wilder is legitimately ranked at number 1 in the WBC heavyweight division that you know of?
Yes, absolutely.
Can you explain that? Because many of us are wondering, how does he stay ranked above guys that, like Joe Joyce, who have been working and winning, and he had 2 back-to-back losses?
Well, it's the WBC ranking committee is composed by members from all over the world, and the ranking is by merit with many different equations into the mix. Deontay Wilder fought a very courageous fight, had Fury down twice, hurt him also in the 10th round. It was a great fight, and there's many cases with precedent when a champion loses the title or there's a great fight, fighters not necessarily move down. Robson Conciao, he was number 15. He fought against Valdez. He moved up to number 4. So you don't necessarily go down after you lose a fight, because the quality of opposition is one of the most important ingredients on rankings.
Mauricio, when are you notified, or when do you notify the public of any sort of elimination bouts? Because now that the new rankings have come out, with Wilder and Andy Ruiz being 1 and 2 and Dillian being the mandatory, I'm just wondering if we're going to get an elimination bout for the next mandatory between any of the 1, 2, or 3 in Joe Joyce. I don't say Luis Ortiz because I'm pretty sure no one's excited to see Wilder Ortiz 3.
We have a annual convention coming up in November. You have been in our conventions, and that's when the mandatories are reviewed for each weight category. So it's less than a month away. We're going to do every single division at the convention.
I want to go so bad, but you made mandatory vaccination. I'm afraid of the vaccination right now.
Well, that's, of course, your option.
I know.
And we respect that. We have proven, we have testing and all this protocol, but that's a requirement from the government. So that's an understanding. If you cannot make it, we understand that.
I know. I badly want to go, man. My wife has it already, so she's trying to convince me as well to get it. And, we'll see, could I make that decision before the convention? Because it was a wonderful time. I felt blessed to be there in 2019, and I feel like that one was so memorable. So many things happened. Obviously, the Vasil Lomachenko franchise thing is something that made history, which made me part of it. Obviously, Jermell Charlo and Benavidez, that fight originated at your convention between the father and Jamal. So definitely thank you for inviting me that time, and I hope that I can make it. But speaking of your rankings, again, you got number 6 Frank Sanchez, and some of us feel like, man, he put on so well on a high stage that maybe he deserved a better ranking. Maybe he deserved a better ranking because, like, Andy fought Areola, who was retired, not ranked, and he got moved higher than a guy like Sanchez and even Joe Joyce that were active.
You know, as I said, the rankings are a combination of many different factors. So case by case, if you like, I'll be happy to send your request to the rankings committee, and they do a very good explanation on the situation. Whenever a promoter, a manager, a fighter sends a grievance or an appeal or simply an explanation, you saw the convention. Any promoter that stands up and wants his fighter to move up, you have the response from Dean Lojas, who is the committee chairman, and he says, well, he fought this and this and this, and he gives a whole formula. And I believe Sanchez moving up from 13 to 6 is a great adjustment to the merit of a great win that he had on such an important level against a tough fighter. But I feel very confident about the rankings committee and their decisions.
Will we be addressing the franchise title in the convention? Are there going to be any alterations or amendments to the rules of the franchise title? Because I know when it came out, it was non-transferable. Now it is. So are we going to get new information to educate us on the franchise title?
Yes, that's one of the topics that is in the agenda.
So,
Hey, Mauricio, this is Adrian from TBV. I just have a quick question. So I know like in college football, they have a lot of different things they look at to rank the teams. It's not necessarily just how many wins, how many losses. I know that you might not be privy to all of them, but what are the criterias or some of the important criterias that you know of that rank somebody higher than somebody else?
Yeah, thank you. Amateur record, amateur competition. If you were an Olympian, if you were a gold medalist or a medalist, takes into consideration. Muay Thai, because Thailand, many Muay Thai fighters become professional fighters. We have a level of competition, activity, of course, record. What kind of fights, if you're fighting at home always, or you're going abroad and fighting at the home of the opponent, the caliber of the fight, if it's for a championship. What else? There's a few others, but basically it's a component because it's not the same to have a fighter who is 18-0, and you look at the record and see the level of opposition, and then you have a fighter maybe 12-5, and not necessarily means that 18-0 is better than the 12-5 if you look at all the considerations.
Mauricio, obviously, you know, this phrase in boxing is synonymous with the WBC being the most prestigious belt. In boxing, unlike other sports, we're failing to have a championship or a Super Bowl or a finals where we always get the winners. And I feel like the WBC is in a position where you could make a tournament and have a prize to keep these guys to be able to, for the best to fight the best because they respect that belt so much. Is there any plans in the future? It doesn't have to be immediate, but are you guys as a committee trying to think of a way to give boxing a Super Bowl? Like, we really enjoyed Wilder Fury and that undercard. And I mean something like that at least once every 3 months, once every 6 months, a way for us to get a great, fantastic card with, you know, 50-50 fights all the way down, like that Wilder Fury pay-per-view was.
Yes, we have supported continuously unification bouts. Of course, when you have a unified a champion like Josh Taylor, who did the ultimate unification, or Teofimo Lopez, we had a great Castaño Charlo fight, ended up in a draw. I hope there's a rematch. But yes, what we intend always to do is to have the best fights possible. And you just hit it on the point. That's one of the main topics of the franchise designation, to have the best fight, the best, give the ability to have that great fighter to go ahead and do the best fights possible. But unfortunately, we're not promoters, and we cannot control many times which matches are made. But we're working with promoters and other organizations to try to make tournaments, to have common mandatories, so a champion does not have to fight every mandatory of all categories. And so we're working on that. But it is up to the promoters to come with we have ordered tournaments, like we ordered Chocolatito to fight Estrada, Cuadras, Rumbisa, and the winners fight each. But COVID-19 got in the way. But we have ideas and tournaments, and it is up to the promoters to make them happen.
And I'm hearing that, I don't know the name, but is it Juan Francisco Estrada? Is he now franchise champion in the lower weights?
That was precisely to be able to do Estrada, Chocolatito for the third time. and to do Cuadras against Rumbisai, who was a mandatory, and then both winners fight each other. That was going to happen back in September, but October, Chocolatito had COVID, and Rumbisai got COVID. So we're waiting for the new date for that great doubleheader that will lead into an ultimate great fight.
So the franchise champion will be made to fight the winner of the other fight, though. It won't be like at 60 and 35. They'll actually face each other.
In this scenario, that's how it was composed, with an agreement for that to happen.
Perfect.
So those are the things that we are going to be adjusting, as you mentioned prior.
Perfect.
I have two more minutes. I have to...
No problem. So 2 minutes. Can Teofimo mandate or ask you to mandate the Haney fight? How would those two guys get in the ring using the WBC?
Well, they both have a commitment. They have fights November and December. And I spoke yesterday to both camps, and they really want to fight each other. So we're going to be working on it to see if there's a way we can structure something there.
Is it as simple as a Bill Haney, Devin Haney representative showing up to the WBC convention this month and petitioning for an opportunity to face the franchise champion in Teofimo?
That could be one of the. Of course, we always take the official petitions and we attend them and we go through the process and make a voting. So that is one of the ways to make things happen.
And the last one, I know you got to go. I'm being told that the petition fee is non-refundable if you don't get approved.
We don't have a petition fee.
Oh, okay. That's your guy, Moonshine. What's his real name? You know the guy that loves Teofimo, right? The content creator? No, he's Dominican. You know him. Him and Lopez are really cool. And we
don't have any fees.
So it's free to make a petition, as many as you want.
Of course.
That's amazing. Great news. Well, Mauricio, thank you so much for the last minute interview. We always appreciate you giving us the time. And we love you, man. Have a good day.
Have a great day. All the best. Take care.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The president of the WBC, the most prestigious belt, giving us the time of day to answer a few of those questions.
Yo, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingvoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.